Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games.
You've mastered every Pokemon. Sleep powder. Rock throw. Confuse Ray. Now you're ready for the all-new Battle Frontier. Take on your biggest challenge yet in Pokemon Emerald, only for Game Boy Advance. Ready for everyone.
Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We can be contacted on Twitter, Podtendo Podcast, email us, gmail.com. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Don't look at Facebook, though, because we don't do that. Podtendo is a Let's Play review pop culture show. There's another thing, but I forget what it is. But I don't forget who I am. And now I've said that twice in a row, but you don't understand what that means. I'm your co-host, Mick, and I'm joined every episode by my lovely and talented co-host,
Tyson. And is it retrospective? Did you say retrospective?
I did not say retrospective. There you go, see? That's why we keep him around, because he remembers things like retrospective.
Yep, the important details.
The important little details. So welcome to one of our numbered shows. It's acclaimed, it's respected, it's a thing that we do. We are playing video games, so it's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Got a big one. This is another one of the major franchises. Yeah, it's exciting to get into it. I know we've actually had this game both on our shelves for a little bit, so...
Yeah, I think we played through it a little bit. I forget what happened. Maybe we could talk more into it, like when we get to our, what's it called? Remember? First Memories? First Memory section. We can tell you all about how I remember this one, but it's been about 2 years since we played a Pokemans, so we're playing Pokemon Gen 3. Number 3 today, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, or Gen 3. And maybe we played the remakes, Alpha, what's it called? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? So
yep.
Maybe we played those ones and not the originals, because I kind of feel like we missed this. But without further ado, the developer was Game Freak. It sold about 16.2 million copies. It's pretty impressive. The date of release was March 19th, 2003, but Emerald was released May 1st, 2005, and the remakes debuted worldwide in November 21st, 2014. Cool. How long to beat has this game at about 35 hours. Price at release was $49.99, and if you factored in inflation, that would be $65. On eBay, you can get a copy of one of these games for about $20 to $200, and you can buy the remaster, or the remake, it's actually what it's called, for $50 whole. Where to play? On the original Game Boy Advance, or the Alpha and Omega remakes for the 3DS, so that's fun.
Yeah, and I feel like they've done a really good job in the remakes, so might be worth a check out over the originals, in my opinion.
Depending like where you're finding them too, I don't think you're gonna stray long. Like, yeah, if you like these games, maybe you missed them, you're a little bit older, or you're a younger guy and you just skip them for whatever reason. All right, I mean, it's probably better than like the weird sprite-based one on the Game Boy Advanced. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. And this generation's very interesting because I don't have as fond of memories as the other two generations prior to this one. So
2003, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it seems to be like this is one of those ones that that just holding up to the other two. You're like, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, same place. We'll get into it, kind of why we feel that way. It's all right, holds up. I could see like if this is your first introduction, it definitely brings a lot new elements to the game, right? That we can kind of discuss as we go forward, and they kind of do like skid hard into these other new elements, right? So, and it was kind of like a new generation for the next generation for a new generation of Pokemon fans, if that's like maybe a good way of saying it. But before we get too far into the game, because heaven forbid we talk about the actual game on a gaming podcast, we have to jump into our patented Wayback Machine and look what did the pop culture landscape look like on March 19th, 2003. Ask the age-old question, do we want to live there? Before we get into the game proper. So, Wayback Machine. Yes, Tyson, what is your favorite show? Because maybe it's your birthday and you only get to watch one show. What could it be? I haven't used the birthday premise for a while. The Simpsons, season 14, episode 15, CEO. Homer becomes the CEO of the power plant after he releases the real CEO, a canary that Mr. Burns uses as a scapegoat. Hilarity ensues. Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2003, season 1, episode 6, Darkness on the Edge of Town. After a blackout knocks out the lights in the lair, the turtles go topside to investigate. Once there, they encounter the mysterious Foot Clan artifacts from around the city. Sounds lovely.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I believe this is the Ninja Turtle series where they say shell with lots of regularity. Mm-hmm. Because you can't swear, but it's one letter away, so,
What the shell?
Throw it in there because you're edgy. Yeah, I feel like I definitely need to kind of go with Simpsons on this one. We just have lots of Mr. Burns in this. And even though it is a later season, I still laugh at Mr. Burns. He's hilarious, and his old-timey references, they just speak to me. I don't know if I was born in the wrong century like he was, but yeah, it's I'm always down for some Mr. Burns, so I got to choose Simpsons.
All right, good job, Simpsons. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Cool.
So good.
Other top TV shows right around this time are The Wire, NCIS, The Shield, 24, West Wing, Dead Like Me, Star Trek, Enterprise. So, kind of feel like I probably don't watch a lot of TV at this point in my life.
I swear I only saw Star Trek Enterprise in reruns when I was in university. Yeah. So, I don't remember a lot to this. I remember everybody talking about 24 and being like, oh, it's such a good show. It takes place the whole season in one day. And it's like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. How about top cartoons? We got Teen Titans, the Berenstain Bears, Hydronauts, Koala Bears, the Venture Brothers. All right, it's kind of cool.
Yep. I'm a big fan of Venture Brothers.
All right, nice. Yeah, again, I don't really get it. But top movies, however, released this week was Dreamcatchers and Piglet's Big Movie. Okay. Still in theaters could be The Hunted, Bring Down the House, and Old School. And if you waited a few weeks, you could get to The Core, Phone Booth, and Anger Management.
Wow. So apparently I was just watching nothing but movies.
Yep.
'Cause I've seen all these movies. Dreamcatcher, who doesn't love Stephen King, and yeah, fantastic. I'm not going to spoil anything of that. Piglet's Big Movie. For some reason, I remember watching this. Did we watch this in theaters, or did we watch this on like DVD or VHS? I feel like this was an actual theater adventure.
Okay, I was not there for that day. I don't think I've ever seen this one, but kudos. Sorry.
Yep. Well, I am a bit younger than you. Yeah. And then we had Old School. Yeah. Which is, Jamie Kennedy being Jamie Kennedy and rapping, I think.
What? No, that's Malibu's Most Wanted. Old School's with Will Ferrell.
Oh, yes. Oh, excellent. What movie am I thinking of? No, there's another Jamie.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
No, there's another one. He did 2 of those movies.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to go into Jamie Kennedy. Gosh, no. But now I need this answer.
I've rewatched The Core. In terms of like disaster movies that are kind of goofy, it's like a thing. I think I watched it once, and I just watched like the disaster effects. They're really not that impressive. Like there's one where this like beam of light destroys the Golden Gate Bridge. It lasts for maybe like 30 seconds. Just a lot of time being stuck in a little thing in the bottom of the earth. It's good times.
I remember that movie coming out and not being impressed by it.
Yep. Because
it's a bottle episode. It's like, let's go to the center of the earth. It all basically takes place on that trip. Yeah, it's a weird movie. It's definitely a very, very weird movie. I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like they're really trying to push what's his face, the lead actor of that movie, for a really long time, and he's just like vanilla or like butter on toast. I mean, it's good, but I mean, do you really want to pay for it?
Is it Thomas Jane? Is that the one? Anyways, how about top video games that were released? So this month we could get Sonic Adventure 2, Zone of the Enders, The Second Runner, Mega Man and Bass, WWE Crush Hour, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes. So those are pretty exciting.
I feel like the Sonic Adventure games are something that we might need to dive into. Zone of the Enders is super short, and I feel like we could smash both games into one episode and be like, I ran out of things to say. But I love mechs.
Yeah.
So it always reminded me of like a take-home arcade game. And, Wind Waker's one of the best Zelda games of all time.
Yeah.
And, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the best fighting game ever made. Or second best, maybe, in my opinion. But I got my answer. I was thinking of Kicking It Old School with Jamie Kennedy. Kicking It Old School.
Kicking It Old School. All right. So, I mean, that was closer than Malibu's Most Wanted. So, cool, yo. All right. Well, it's true. I think Zone of the Enders only was popular because I think it had the Metal Gear Solid 2, like, playable trailer or, like, teaser, whatever you call it, demo game on it. So,
yeah.
It was a fun little world that we don't live in anymore of playable demos. So
weird world where you bought a game to get early access to something, and I think that's why Crackdown sold so good as well, because it had the Halo 3 beta or whatever to it. So you have to buy Crackdown to play Halo 3. So it sold millions and millions of copies because literally people used to pay games just so they could get a game, like a demo early, and then like, what a weird, strange time.
Okay, interesting, cool. That's all I got. Top songs. Let's look at the final Billboard charts, then we can answer, do we want to live in this age? I do kind of remember the Crush Hours, maybe the Wind Waker, so I'm like, okay, I know where we're at. So, top 3 songs, according to the Billboard charts for March 19th, 2003. Number 3 song is All I Have by J-Lo. Although I don't really know anything about J-Lo. Like, in my mind, I'm like, was she ever popular? Apparently she was, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, it makes you always wonder, like, wait, was she famous first for acting or famous first
I think she was a singer, then became an actress, and then she became just kind of like an icon kind of thing. But
yeah, I think so. But I think she started as a dancer, if I'm not mistaken.
That could be. Number 2 song is In the Club by 50 Cent. Got shot a bunch of times, so that's exciting.
Yeah, not for drug dealing.
Yep. Nope. We definitely should glamorize this man that didn't get shot for drug dealing.
Nope. Well, didn't he declare bankruptcy after his vitamin water didn't make him a billionaire?
Yeah. Anyways, at least I kind of know where we're at, so that's exciting.
Absolutely. I know I'm listening to In the Club right now.
Yep.
Right? Like that's where like little Tyson is right now. He's listening to this and probably playing basketball outside and dreaming of making the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I was like, okay, I kind of understand maybe why I missed this generation of Pokemon. And finally, Get Busy by Sean Paul is the number 1 song according to the Billboard charts. YouTube more copyright material. So there you go. Now that we know where we're at, maybe we're live. Maybe we're like, I was doing stuff. Maybe I had a girlfriend. Maybe I was interested in WWE Crush Hour. That's why I didn't have a girlfriend. So there you
go. Well, there's probably many reasons why we didn't have girlfriends at this time. You know what? It's good to have a little refresher because I feel like I know where I'm at and why I didn't. I have some validation of why I didn't pick up this game and I missed it. So
cool, yeah. All right, on to the development details. Now, kind of what the pop culture landscape looks like, we can kind of dive into it here. So, what's new? Okay, so we've got double/multi battles, which means some moves now have an area of effect. Multi battles are when you and another character each control one Pokemon in a double battle. Oh. The innate abilities and natures were first included in this generation. So abilities grant their holders certain powers in battle, where natures affect the stats of a given Pokemon. Secret bases were added. The time of day affect certain things like berry growth and the tides, but there is no day and night cycle. The new Pokemon designs came from the developers and directs past experiences in their childhood involving nature, animals, and the media, and then based them on insects. Well, that's a terrible sentence. The Game Boy Advance offers enhanced graphics, and up to 4 players could share information at once. However, they wanted to keep it simple, so the games were designed to be easy enough for younger generations, but new features were added to bring back veteran gamers. The game was the first in the series that did not contain all the Pokemon from previous generations. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This was the Dex, or the National Dex drama before the National Dex drama was even a thing. So people still forget. Everybody's memory's so bloody short that this has been going on for forever. Yeah. There's a few changes and things that they added to this game, which I feel like really wrecked the casualness of the game to a point where you're like, sometimes just reset your game and play new. Because if you get a bad starter because they have a bad ability or nature right off the bat, it's like, cool, I'm going to struggle real hard. And you're like, yeah, sure are.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's charts if you're interested in it, like Tyson's mentioning, the nature, because just based on the way the stats will grow, you might, again, just need to restart and restart and restart if you're curious. Unless you want to get into competitive, you can beat this game no problem. Just kind of going vanilla and doing basic type matchups. You don't need to worry about the other stuff. If you are interested and you want to get a little more hardcore, they added that extra kind of layer behind the scenes. And I think that's what it's kind of a turnoff, but it's honestly not bad. It's one of those things where I'm always like, I don't really want to get into it. And what if I want to make a competitive team? Look, I'm not making a competitive. Just play the game, enjoy it. Anyways, and then finally, Emerald. In the tradition of Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Crystal, a third enhanced version of the game was released. They held several competitions to promote this in North America. So that ends our development details. And it's a thing.
It's neat that they felt the need to give this game a little bit of a refresh and kind of a updated form. I think that a lot of the cool things that they did, like the day night, it will have an effect like growing berries, that's pretty cool. Makes me laugh at games like Fable that couldn't figure out how to get you to get a tree to grow, and people are still mad about it, but yet this game figured out how to grow berries at a regularity. It's like, I understand they're not similar systems, but Pokemon's a handheld game. Thanks Fable. It's like, just that game still rubs me the wrong way, even though I love it. Yeah, I don't know. Multi-battles, but the abilities and the natures, you can completely skip it. I think that there's such good variety in the late part of this game where who cares? Just grab different Pokemon and try them out if you don't like one, or one's kind of feeling like it's not working well. So you don't even really need to look into the abilities or the natures and stuff. So you can skip all that stuff if you want, but still, just if you get a Pokemon that feels like you love and it just feels like it's weak, just might want to do a little research into that. So
yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. Cool. Yeah, that's all I got. Under the controls, so pretty standard RPG stuff at this point. You move around in the overworld with a direction pad, interact with the world. You start with one Pokemon, can collect more by random encounters in grass, caves, water, and you can capture them with Pokeballs. Your team can be completely customized with no clear best team. Each Pokemon can learn up to 4 moves, and if you're really serious, you can try and game the system by breeding them together to make better Pokemon with better natures, and then IV and EV train them. You can beat the vanilla game pretty easily without worrying about the whole breeding and training your team. There are other trainers that you can fight to gain experience, and just like every other Pokemon game, you try and collect 8 gym badges so you can fight the Elite Four, become a Master Trainer, and maybe there's some rapscallions along the way that will get in your ways. So
yeah, and you maybe thwart an evil organization or two, maybe.
Yeah, Yeah, that's probably a thing. So, cool, yo. First memories of this game. So now I kind of know what the game looks like, how it works. I think like we've been talking about, I was just a little bit too old, and I wasn't too interested in this game at my point in my life. I didn't have a job. So I kind of had birthdays, Christmas. Those were kind of the big gift-giving moments. And I don't know if this just made it, right? I was more the target audience for Gen 1, a little bit more for Gen 2, but then I kind of just fell out of it a little bit. I know that I played through Fire Red and Leaf Green on an emulator in college, and that was kind of like a good introduction of Gen 3 to at least myself. And then I just kind of like missed through them. I don't know. I didn't like how unfamiliar everything seemed. I didn't really want to learn a whole new Pokemon system in the meantime. I did buy us both the remake for Xmas a couple years ago, and I played through it up until our fight with the legendary creature like Kyogre, but I didn't have like status affecting moves or enough Pokeballs to catch them, so I just restarted it. And then I just didn't finish it. And this is, I think, was one of the weirdest things was I bought a Pokebank account for this playthrough so I could move all my Pokemon onto this Pokebank account, restart the game, and then move them all back. So for some reason, $7 real dollars I spend to keep these digital creatures in my life that I have no emotional attachment with, but I couldn't bring myself to just delete the game and like wipe them clean. It's a very interesting psychological thing that occurred there.
Yeah, that's interesting you brought up the Pokebank. I completely kind of forgot about that, but yeah, I also paid $7 to that scam back in the day, but I think I was getting big into IV and EV battling, so I needed extra storage to dump everything, and I was like swapping things around, and I think you got a free Celebi when I signed up, and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect for my next little run. Like I can actually like get another Celebi and start breeding these, and that would actually be pretty dope to actually like get a pimped out one. But then I just stopped caring because like it takes up so much time, and you basically need to just dedicate everything to one game. And I guess we're a little bit more variety gamers.
Yeah,
I know when this game came out, if the first half of the like Pokemon or the starters don't interest me, I just shrug and move on. I'm a big seller on starters. Like you need to have good starters in the game and like a good Pokemon like list. And when I remember like looking at this Pokemon list as a kid and being like, so they just took like way more. They doubled down all the animals and took away all the creativity, and then the creativity they had, they were just like geometry. To me, I was like, that's not really creative, and I'm not really like seeing anything that really like jumps out. Like there's a handful of them that are cool, but nothing that's like, oh wow, I need this character. Like there's no Gengars or anything like that. Like really, that's like, okay, like I'm in. Like look at this purple greatness. Yeah. So I feel like there's a lack there for me, and with hip hop in my life and getting into basketball and
damn
probably
you hip hop.
doing other things at the time.
Yeah,
so.
but it's weird. Like I got into. When did Golden Sun come out? Golden Sun. Because I got a Game Boy Advance and I got Golden Sun. Golden Sun comes out... just tell me when it comes out. 2000, 2002. So like I probably had a Game Boy Advance to this. It's weird that I just skipped on this Pokemon. Yeah, like, and I don't know if it was just, I don't know, strange, right?
I think I bought Emerald. And I just never played it.
Interesting. Oh, I have a copy of like Fire Red, Emerald, maybe like a Sapphire or something like that for the Game Boy Advance. I have a big Game Boy Advance collection. But yeah, again, one of those things I just skipped on. I didn't really have peers that were playing this game. I don't know what we were playing at this point, but I kind of feel like we had just kind of moved on. And this was probably more of like PlayStation 2 era, right? Like the Zone of the Enders, Metal Gear Solids, the Jade Cocoon 2s, which was a good use of my time.
Yeah, and I think Prince of Persia like also kind of came out around this time, like the first Prince of Persia games, and then they were like an annual release, and I like ate those games up. So I feel like there was a lot of PlayStation gaming going on and not a lot of gaming on the go. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we just kind of missed this one.
Yeah.
It's probably the starters, and I know I'm that shallow that as a kid that I was like, the starters suck. I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. All right, so that's it. We have weird emotional attachments to our digital characters for no reason. We spend extra money to keep playing games. We're odd characters. Odd little characters. Anyways, let's move on to the story of this game. Then we'll get into the level notes. And then we're like clipping. We're flying. We're almost at the end. So, story. You are a 10-year-old. Your dad is a gym leader. You move to a new town. Go collect Pokemon and badges and become a Pokemon master. Hell, even stop some evil organizations' plans and save the world while you're at it.
Also, the beginning of Omega, Ruby, and forget the Sapphire one. The remakes, they have a really cool intro where it starts like the original, like the Game Boy Advance game, and then your character like drops the screen, and it's like my character's playing the game. How cool is that?
Meta.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very, very kind of neat, interesting world. So on to the level notes. This is our Let's Play section. This is where we describe our experiences playing through this game. So hence the point of this podcast. Up until this point, you'd be like, you actually played this game? It sounds like you guys just listened to Indie Club. Shut up. Shut up. This is our...
Well, I was doing that a lot.
Shut up. This is our format. This is how we roll with it. So just to simplify the process, I'm going to kind of do a quick overview between the badges, and then afterwards we can kind of talk about the weird nuances of each section. So if I move a little quickly, you don't want me to go into a lot of detail on an RPG. Come on, guys. You listen to my older episodes. This is the best way to do it. So Stone Badge. So we start off moving to a new town, Little Root. We save a professor from a wild Pokemon after we choose one of 3 new Pokemon. So we got Trico, the grass Pokemon, Torchic, the fire, and Mudkip, the water. We can now travel past Old Town, fight our rivals, double back, and get a Pokedex from the professor. Finally, we are free to set forth. We can go to Petalburg, meet our dad, meet a great character in Wally, carry on past Petalburg Woods, and find ourselves in Rustboro City. Here's a gym battle against Roxanne. She uses rock-type Pokemon.
Because her name has rock in it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's clever. Also, I hope air quotes was around Wally.
Like great Pokemon Wally. Yeah, no, Roxanne is like the most generic-looking girl. Huh. All right.
Oh, yeah, she is like vanilla. Like, it makes me miss those days of Brock.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, nothing special. Let's see what kind of notes I got. So this is in my Pokemon generation. Yeah, I know, I got that. I feel like Torchic is far and away the best choice. His dual type of fighting and just the lack of fire types in this game make him kind of a no-brainer. The other two, I don't know. Yeah, as opposed to any of the first 2 trios of starters. Okay. Our rival here feels kind of bland. He is kind of an ally. Rather than kind of an antagonist or an adversary. Wally is kind of interesting, but really nothing comes from him. And early game feels very familiar. You start in the town, you get a Pokemon, go to the next town where there's a gym that you can't access yet, go through a forest, and then you get to fight a rock gym.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to the first gen. But again, weaker starters. I went Trico because I looked at the grass types in this game and was like, "Ooh, I might need some help in this direction." Then I looked at the fire types and I was like, "Oh, there's some potential here." And then waters, I was like, "Okay, well, I'm flush with water types, so I'm gonna go with Trico." Because I usually always have at least a grass type in my team at some point for some reason. I always have fire, grass, and water, and then I build out the other 3. But this one was one of those ones where it's like, this is a tough decision because Torchic is the best because then you get fighting and fire, but it's like, I need grass and I can't find a better replacement other than Trico.
100% fair, 100% fair. I know for myself, I had a Mudkip that I did. Did you ever play one of those games that have mystery trades where you just randomly trade Pokemon into the internet? So I ended up with a Mudkip from Japan or something like that on my party. So I kind of cheated and had both.
Nice.
But I feel like I've also played with the Tricos, right? So
yeah, and I feel like we're not doing if you're gonna mystery gift things, do it. I mean, sometimes you get a little Charizard and you're like, sweet, now I'm set for fire. It's not you might as well enjoy this game. It's not, if you want to take it super seriously, I'm only playing the lore. It's like that. Why are you playing this game?
Yeah.
Use all the things that you have access to and enjoy it. Because I mean, the point of the game is collect them all. So If you randomly get stuff from different generations, that's fine.
Sounds, yeah, for sure. All right, so now on to the next one, the Knuckle Badge. Ooh, so after our victory, we witness a robbery. Find a robber in a cave, recover the stolen goods, and save Pico, the Wingull. We can now return the stolen goods, ask to be taken to Slateport City, talk to Mr. Briny, who runs a boat. He's the guy who owns the Wingull that we saved. And he will take us to Dewford Town, where the second gym is located. The fight here is with Brawly. He uses fighting Pokemon. No, going to an island is a little different, so that's exciting. And Granite Cave really doesn't, kind of leaves much to the imagination. And I don't know if there's Pokemon we can get. And you're like, that's too bad.
Yeah, I feel like there is too many caves. And it seems like, oh, hey, look, we're already on the water. This seems fun. I bet you I'm not going to get sick of having to surf around everywhere.
I kind of liked it early on, right? Because it was a little bit of change of pace. It wasn't just the go through a cave, fight a water gym. It was you have to go on a boat and you're out on the sea. I mean, it is really just because the boat acts as just basically a route. There's no trainers to fight or anything like that. So, I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Doesn't too much for the imagination. All right, so Dynamo Badge. So we can explore the Granite Cave, though there is nothing special here yet.
Although you can get lucky. There is some Pokemon drops. There is an Abra hiding out here.
Oh, yeah, okay, the Abra. Yeah, so you could use the Abra, raise him up, get to your level 16. I think actually I did that because I had an Abra on my team, and he learns like Confusion, helps you take out Brawly. Yay!
Yeah. Well, and you can also get a pretty good rock type in Aeron. So.
Oh, yes, I was going to say, but I don't think you can do that in the remakes until you get the bike, and you have to come back and you have to go up the little hill, and it's like in the next section, because I had an Aeron on my team, so.
Yes, absolutely. I see we kind of gravitate towards the same Pokemon already.
Yeah, the fact we have an Aeron, a Abra, and our starter. Great, okay. So before getting on the boat and traveling to Slateport City, you have to go to the Granite Cave, you can try to return to the Devon goods, but are told the captain is in the museum. But an evil gang has taken it over, so it's either Magma or Aqua, depending on the version. Defeating them, we can now head north to Route 110. There are two paths here. One needs a bike, and the lower one comes with a rival battle. Afterwards, we find ourselves in Mallville. We can get a bike, and we can fight Wally, and take on the next gym. Watson, he uses electric type Pokemon. Cool.
Yeah, and you get to smash Wally's dream of ever becoming a Pokemon trainer and send that sucker home. I kind of feel bad about it, but I also don't because he just talks too much.
He is like a really interesting thought experiment in a Pokemon game, right? So Wally, he has like a asthma or something like that, and he can't be a Pokemon trainer, but he nothing happens. He's the most vanilla. Same with Rival. Our Rival is kind of a very vanilla person too, right? Like they just don't do anything.
Yeah, I think that's why Gary stands out so good. Your Rival and from Johto is really strong because he's Giovanni's kid, so he's naturally I steal Pokemon, blah blah blah. It's this guy's a bad guy.
Yeah. This
one, it's if you pick the boy, you get May as your the girl.
Yeah.
Or you pick May, you get whatever the guy's name is. I always forget their names. Brendan, yes, thank you. And it's just there's it's hard to have two good protagonists and have them I'm your rival. It's look, I'm gonna beat you every single battle. You're not really. You're just a stopping block.
Yeah.
You're never insulting me or be I'm gonna beat you. I'm the best. You never show up ahead of me. It's or you're never I just beat this gym leader because he was such a wimp. Peace out, yo. It's none of that. You get very I get that you want to make a little more kid friendly, but it's nice to have a little bit of conflict.
Yeah.
We even as a kid we still liked Gary. So I mean.
He was a jerk, when he told you to smell you later, 100%, right? So, I mean, I think this is a good introduction, at least, to the main antagonists of the game. It kind of leaves the door open, shows him as a bit of a threat, which is nice. And then I really do enjoy Route 10. It does kind of stand out that there's kind of this upper bike path. Even on the 2D graphics, it makes sense. In the 3Ds, you're it's really cool. There's definitely an area above. Love me a rival battle, though Brandon kind of sucks, because I played as May.
Yeah, me too.
Or, as I called her, Mickette. I thought that was pretty funny. So, yeah.
Nice, that's a good one.
Yeah, all right. So now to the Heat Badge. So now we can use Rock Smash to head north. Travel across or around a desert where a sandstorm is raging. There are 2 non-consequential towns that we move past. Some cool-looking meteor craters, a lot of trainers. This leads us to Fall Arbor Town. Here, we can rest up before we head into Meteor Falls. Battle the evil gang, meet the other evil gang. So you meet the subsequent team, obviously, and then double back to Mount Chimney. Here we can fight the leader of the gang that we met in the museum. Once he is defeated, they all peace out, which leaves us with a direct route to Lava Ridge Town and our next gym battle. Flannery, she uses fire Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that this is the like when the game starts to pick up. There's like lots of interesting Pokemon to catch. I know I was doing like lots of swapping out with some of the people I've been dragging to this point.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's nice. Like, yeah, you usually get like the Team Rocket hangout or whatever. So it's like we get Team Magma, Team Aqua. And it's nice that kind of like they're fighting amongst each other and you're kind of fighting them. But like they're all just a bunch of wimps and you're eventually just going to whoop them all. But I feel like it's nice to kind of give you a few badges, get you set up, introduce you to the actual like bad guys-ish, quote unquote, and then also but give you access to like lots of different Pokemon.
Yeah.
And to me, like this is like where the game starts getting like super strong. So if you want to like start building your team, this is where it all starts, and it's so nice to finally be at that moment.
Yeah, it is a little bit of like grunt work to get to that Mallville, and then like Tyson said, the game opens up a little bit. I think it's kind of a good chase sequence. It kind of feels like we're pursuing this evil group. I kind of wish we were able to fight more of the grunts at Mount Chimney. It is kind of bland that they're all just kind of like up against each other. And I'm like, well, I want to be able to fight these guys and not just go have to fight the main guy, right? Like, that's a little anticlimactic. Also, I want some of that experience. There is a moment, though, where a guy in a hat shows up and a cloak, and he takes us to his secret treehouse, hidden base, his secret base. I kind of smelt stranger danger, and as a young 10-year-old girl, I do not feel comfortable going into this man's secret base with him. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's a little strange.
Yeah, I would definitely had a cell phone handy or something and made sure that I always kept myself between me and the door.
Yeah.
And he was on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So,
but Nick seemed okay with it. So I don't know. I don't trust myself.
Yeah, I feel like our character's too understanding.
Yeah.
And too trusting.
Yeah.
I kept trying to talk some sense into her, but here we are.
Didn't happen. All right, so on to the balance badge. So in the remake, our rival then shows up, asks us to go to Petalburg. We say yes, and we are teleported outside the next gym. We fight our dad, then Wally shows up. We get Surf, and he takes us to the east side of Mallville. Easy peasy. So our gym bass, our dad, Norman, I believe his name is. He has normal type Pokemon because his name's Norman.
Terrible puns.
Yeah. There isn't much to say. It kind of just holds your hand through the section, at least in the remake. Maybe in the original it doesn't do that. I don't know why they sugarcoat it. Though I did use the goggles to go get the fossil in the desert. I used the root fossil. It became a grass rock type Pokemon, and he sucked. And then I put him in my PC box, and I was like, I really wanted the armadillo though, so that's unfortunate.
Again, I always like love that they incorporate a fossil into like all these games.
Yeah.
But then you get, some pretty lackluster types of Pokemon, and this darn game just refuses to be consistent with its Pokemon types. Like, I understand that there's a lot and you need to cram it full, but I feel like you go through peaks and valleys of like, oh, look all these cool Pokemon I can get. Then you're like, and then I get these.
Yeah.
Like, some of the Pokemon coming up, let's just say I'm not the greatest fan of because I think that they're fairly boring to look at.
Yeah. On to the Feather Badge, though. So I think the last time I played through this, this seems like a good, halfway point, and then it gets kind of exciting here or something. So on to the Feather Badge. So Wally departs, saying he will see us again. We are free to explore to the right of Mallville. We can surf, find some tall grass, a lot of berry locations before making our way north to Four Tree City. Here we find an invisible Pokemon blocking our way to the gym. We have to follow some guy named Steven and get the Devon Scope to find the invisible Kecleon and enter the gym. The gym battle here is Winona. Winona. She uses flying type Pokemon.
Terrible jokes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we get when they have lots of puns and stuff.
Yeah.
At this point, I did have an electric type, but I definitely did not keep the electric type after this battle.
That's fair. I mean, there's a lot of water. I would think that probably maybe benefits you, but I did not have electric type either.
I also got a good grass type.
But oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, fair enough. So one of my major concerns about this game is Steven. He uses the name Devon. So Devon is a company, but it sounds kind of like a person. And it's just like they're not very memorable. And he's just kind of there. And I'm like, Route wasn't interesting. I wasted a lot of time picking berries and planting them and watering them and going back and getting these berries that are bitter and they enhance like a dragon type move. And I'm like, I don't even have any dragon type Pokemon. What the frick's going on? Anyways, on to the Mind Badge. So we are free to explore to the east and south of Four Tree City. Here we'll pass some trainers, this game's Safari Zone, before getting stuck in Lily Cove City. We can't head east into the ocean because the antagonists are blocking our way. So we have to head back to Mount Pyre, this game's ghost area, fight Team Magma/Aqua, so the leader will go back and allow us access to the secret underground lair. Defeat all the enemies, fight the second in command, and this will allow us access to the ocean and Most Deep City, where the 7th gym badge is. Boss, Tate and Liza. Why is that a pun on psychic? They have psychic Pokemon, and there are conveyor belts here. Great.
Seems to have some, length issues. It just seems like the pacing. Like I don't mind battling, teams and the enemies like Team Rocket and Team Magma, Team Aqua and all those guys. I don't mind that, but it's like, okay, now I feel like you're just slowing me down.
Yeah.
And like, there's so much grinding in this game. Like, who could ever struggle?
Yeah. Very, very true. It's okay. Like, again, it's one of those things where the original Pokemon kind of had some chalky versions, like Pokemon Red and Blue. I hold them dear, but I have that nostalgia, right? So you kind of take this with a grain of salt. They had to have a little something extra. So the showdown with Aqua Magma seemed really forced in this game's narrative. I just don't think that they're as strong as the Rockets from the original. Cool. All right. So apparently I didn't like them. On to the Rainbow Badge. This is the last area. So, man, we flew through. After the gym battle, we see a beam of light shooting towards the skies. We need to learn Dive, investigate the cave to the south, find the hidden Sutopolis, a town built inside a volcano crater, before fighting the legendary Cave of Origins and fighting either Groudon or Kyogre. After the fight, the world is saved. We can get the 8th gym badge, learn Waterfall, and are on our way to the Elite Four. So the boss here is Wallace. He is Water-type Pokemon, and there's ice puzzles in this dungeon.
Yeah, who doesn't like the ice section? I think that it's nice having basically the game being completely opened up, so if there's any Pokemon in the previous areas you wanted to maybe go hunting for, great time to go do it, and best time to kind of get stocked up, because this game is about to hit us with all the legendary Pokemon. I feel like this game is very, very giving with like lots of different types of, I would say like not legendary type, but very like epic type Pokemon. Yeah. So yeah, it's at this point it's hard to have just like that team. It's time to let go of some of those people that you've been dragging for a very long time and just stock up with better Pokemon.
Yeah, I'll read this note and then we can talk about where we want to go. So it was a bit dramatic, made up from the kind of the lackluster base from the last chapter. Oh, I see, the Aqua base. That makes sense. It kind of makes sense that you were the chosen one and that you have to save the world and you're kind of a big deal. I think it's a great use of the legendary Pokemon into the narrative as opposed to they're just kind of there. right? Like the trio of birds, or Mewtwo. I mean, Mewtwo, there's like a little bit of lore, but really he's just a thing that you go and capture at some point, and it's like the allure of trying to find him. Versus this one, they're actually antagonists, and they're going to cause these world-changing events, and you need to stop them, and you need to get them on your team because of X, Y, and Z. So
yeah, and I think that they handle the legendaries a lot more. I still think that like Ho-Oh has like a really cool little lore to it. But I loved Gold. Gold was like, I think, the gold standard. That one's my favorite. It's nice the way they incorporate the like legendaries, but even here it's like, no, this actually has like story implications. So you need to capture one of these Pokemon. You're like, nice. I like that. I actually like have to do it, and I feel like
you do.
It
you
drives
kill it?
Drives the story. Well, you can kill it, but I mean, like, why wouldn't you capture this thing?
Because one time I got stuck and I didn't have enough Pokeballs to capture it, and I had to reset the game a dozen times, and I ended up just resetting it, and I was really disappointed. And
yeah, no, I could see that. But that's like, I mean, you do all the work in Pokemon like Red, and then you get your way to Mewtwo, and then you're like, wait, why don't I have a Master Ball? And you accidentally used it on like a Graveler or something, and you're like, well, this sucks. I might as well just quit.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was my first experience. This one, obviously, I captured him. If I paralyzed him, maybe, or something like that, got him to red health, fairly easy to capture. Then I was just thinking, because of kind of my next notes, looks like we're headed to Champions Road, which means we're on to the Elite Four, which means we're close to the game. Do you want to discuss your team at this point? What you felt was the strongest attempt at winning this Pokemon League?
Sure.
All right. Cool.
For me, I had Sceptile, so like Trico's, Evolved 1. I had Airguns, whatchamacallit guy. I called him Rocky.
Big steel samurai looking dude. Yep.
I had Flygon. Then I had Sharky, my like the shark fully evolved guy.
Okay.
And then I had Gordon. And I think I had it was Ralts, but what's the female one? What's the mega evolution of the Ralts? I never remember the names. I'm so bad for this one.
Ralts evolves into Celeste something.
There's lots of letters.
There's lots of letters. What did you call the Groundon too? It was like
I got Rocky.
I
got Rocky.
Gardevoir.
Sharky. I was really original with my names.
Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I had the Blaziken. So obviously my what's it called? Firebird.
Chikorita?
No, it's not Chikorita.
What the hell's Chikorita? Oh yeah, that's the grass thing.
From the other one. It starts out
Torchic.
Torchic becomes Blaziken. So I had a Blaziken because I enjoy his. He gets special fighting fire moves, and I was like, that's cool. I had a Swampert, which is the evolved form of the Mudkip, who stayed in my party, and I just had experience share. He was in the 70s before I got to Champions Road. Like, he just sucked up whatever happened. I don't know if because he was a traded Pokemon. I don't think I could actually ever use him because he was always over leveled. It was
because if you get a traded Pokemon, they get 1.5 times experience.
So he was just like super buffed. I caught myself an Aggron, like Tyson said. I traded out a Kadabra at some point for the Latios, the psychic legendary bird that you get. Because I was like, seems like he's flying. I can give him fly around with him. And then I had something called a Tyrantrum, who's a rock dragon type Pokemon.
Oh yeah, yep.
I randomly had a Tyrunt or something like that, like this little cute little T-Rex looking guy with his little arms in my box, and I was like, I'll try this guy, see what happens, see what he evolves into. It was a ground type. It was a thing. I only had 5 Pokemon, so.
You only had 5? Wow, that's the first time I think anyone's ever beat this game with just 5.
I mean, you could beat this game with 1 Pokemon if you wanted.
Oh yeah.
Just have a level 100 Blaziken, and you're gonna kill everyone's.
Yeah, it's just kick everything and it'll just die immediately. And that's like, I don't know, in this game you don't need to really rely too much on like the strategy. Like, I know the Elite Four of like red and blue is actually kind of tricky, like having to deal with the ghost and the ice and rock's easy, but I mean, and dragon's hard. Whereas in this game it's like, it just feels like the lack of dragon. Like, yes, you get the Latios or the mini jets or whatever heck like that I call them. It's just those Pokemon, they bug me.
Yeah.
Because they just look like jets.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, they're a dragon. It's like, but it looks like a stupid jet. It's like, but it's a dragon. It's like, but it looks like a ship.
Well, sorry,
like,
I guess I did have a 6th Pokemon, but it was a Gyarados that had Waterfall, Dive, Rock Smash, and one of the other stupid TMs that I needed, or HMs, to kind of just go around the world. So I did have a 6th Pokemon. It was just my HM slave.
Yeah, and I had to have 2 of those because it's like you need bloody everything.
Yeah.
Like, here, let's have Cut, Surf, Rock Smash, Waterfall, Dive. Like, I'm sure there's Flash in this game.
Not Whirlpool. Yeah, anyways, it was just like a lot of them. So part of the reason I only had the 5 was because of that. So
that's fair. I had a couple normal Pokemon that I just slapped those on and swapped them out as soon as I could because I hate that.
All right, on to the Champions Road. So we're on to Champions Road. So the waterfall, apparently we got that at some point. We can now travel east and reach Evergrande City. Beyond is Champions Road. There are some tough trainers here, a fight with Wally, and then we're on to Victory Plateau. So the first member of the Elite Four is Sydney. I did not know what they were going to use when I went into them. I assumed he was like normal based on the aesthetics of his room. Apparently he uses dark type Pokemon.
Yeah, well, it shows how weak dark is.
Yeah. Let's see. Can we have... So in this game he probably had Mightyena, and then a Shiftry, and then a Cacturne, and then a Sharpedo, and then an Absol. So.
Yeah, some okay Pokemon, but I mean... I feel like once you kind of, I don't know. I feel like my team's a little overpowered with a legendary on it and just throwing fire at everything and seeing if it dies.
Yeah. This next one, why aren't they showing me the Pokemon that Phoebe has? The next guy is called Phoebe. She uses Ghost type Pokemon. So, that's fun. Again, nothing noteworthy. I can't really pull up a list.
She has
a Sableye,
a Dusclops,
great,
a Doneti, another Donette, and then a Dusknoir. And that's why, like, man, how come all these ghost Pokemon look like trash?
Yeah, they're nothing like super special in this game, eh? Like,
Nope. It's just. Remember when Gengar and Ghastly and like all those and Haunter, like that's so original and kind of cool looking, and then you get these guys like a Dusknoir and a Sableye that doesn't evolve into anything, and you're like, good. Yeah. Love that.
Why don't they just like list the Pokemon that you have? Anyways, we're on number 3, Glacia. She uses Ice type Pokemon.
I have the list in front of me if you want it.
Yeah, sure.
Glalie.
Okay.
Little rock guy.
Yep.
And then she has another Glalie, and then she has 2 Frostlasses, and then a Walrein.
Yeah, so kind of some generic ice type Pokemon. And you know that they obviously had a lot of these Pokemon because they repeated 2 of them.
Yeah. And and they've done that for a few of the final 4. So you know that they had a really good, strong decks that they had here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like, we're going to make sure that these are all very well balanced.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you killed one, can you kill the female version of it? And you're like, yes. Let me throw that fire blast at it. Look, killed it.
Yeah. Maybe the 4th guy will give us a chance. His name's Drake. He has dragon Pokemon. I was thinking fire because like when I walked up to his room, there was like this big like dragon head and fire blowing everywhere. Kind of crazy. Apparently he has a Shelgon, which is like the unevolved form of something. An Altaria, which is a flying dragon Pokemon, which people really like. A Flygon, which I've heard good things about from a dragon point of view. Another Flygon, and a Salamence. He's a big dragon dude. Does your Swampert have Blizzard? Then you win! Hooray!
Do you have an ice type move? You win!
Hooray!
Congratulations.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
It's like...
kind of a weak showing for the dragon type Pokemon. Like I was saying, we kind of wishes there was more. Once you learn that ice moves affect dragon, like if you had Ice Beam on one of your guys, probably winning.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that, like, I thought, like, because he has a Kingdra.
Yeah.
I thought that at some point wasn't like a water ice and not a dragon or an ice dragon. And to me, it would have been like, I'm like, man, that thing would have wrecked my like entire strategy. But it's like, no, it's water.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, why was I thinking it was ice? Because it can learn blizzard.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
Can't remember.
I think in Gen 2, so like one of the dragon type Pokemons towards the end of the game, I think she has the Kingdra, and that's when it kind of went from it got the dragon added to it, right? And that was kind of a big deal, but it still kind of sucks. Anyways, we're on to the champion. Steven. Remember my friend Devin from earlier in the game? Now his name's Steven, apparently, so I was confused. He uses ground/rock/steel Pokemon. He almost puts up a challenge. He starts with a Skarmory. It's like a flying thing. An Aggron, just like I have. A Claydol, who sucks. A Crawdilly. That's like the leaf thing that I had. The leaf. No, what's it called? Grass fossil.
Grass guy.
Not very good. Armadillo, which is like the armadillo thing that I kind of wanted. He's all right. And a Metagross. Metagross Mega Evolves and a super tough of nails. The rest of the Pokemon League wasn't much of a problem. I guess that each trainer would be kind of based on the aesthetics and wasn't too far off. And I did note that it was funny that Ice, Ghost, and Dragon are reused from Gen 1. Almost as if they're saying that these are like some type of special, mythical, top-tier type things.
Yeah, it's almost like these types are almost a better tier than the other ones.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Dragon. It's not fully nerfed yet.
Yeah.
Well, in the remake it is, but when you first played this game, it's not fully nerfed. It's not fully nerfed. It still gets basically wrecks everything other than still wrecks everything. There's no lots of fairies, but yeah, he has an interesting little team. Lots of steel. Unfortunately, he does rely on the problem of I would like sturdy Pokemon, so I'm gonna have rock and ground on every other type. And when you're dealing with a guy that has lots of grass and water, it just doesn't work out good.
No, and if you have like fire, water type that are strong, he kind of goes down. Like I said, Metagross, I think he maybe took down a couple of my Pokemon, but eventually, like, he ended up just in that point where he was just using full restores, and I was using Surf and taking, most of his health, and he would use a full restore, and it was just like we hit a cycle, and I was like, well, the game's over at this point. You're not even attacking me, dude. So that was kind of it. Ending. So afterwards, now that we're in the Hall of Fame, and they've taken a picture of 5 or 6 of our Pokemon, how many we had, our rival shows up and takes us home. In the remake, we have to battle him once more before we see the credits. Win or lose, he praises you, and the game is over. Because I was thinking that. I was like, what if I lose to Brendan right now? Like, how does that work? It just kind of rolls through, and there you go. And minus the bonus endgame material that we aren't covering. Oh, shoot. So that's apparently where I stopped. Did you play the, what's it called? Delta episode?
Delta, yeah. I did not, because I know that I can even go back, and there's a few other little side questy things. Okay. So you can do the Delta episode, but I know that you can actually like unlock bloody Ho-Oh and Lugia and a few other little things. So in my eyes, it's like, why would I waste my time trying to go get like the psychic? What's it, like a Dextrose or something it's called, or what the heck it is?
Deoxys, I think, is the psychic Pokemon. So the Delta episode is there's a comet coming to Earth. There's this dragon-type Pokemon. She's going around either stealing the evolution gems. So there's something called what's it called? Mega evolution stones from certain people. So you get to go back, see your friends, fight the team Magmas again. You fight some dragon Pokemon. You fight at the bottom of the top of the big sphere, and you do get to get Rayquaza, and then you can use Rayquaza to go into space and fight Deoxys. So you can end up with 2 kind of top tier legendary Pokemon if you so choose before you play. I played through it. Took a couple hours. It was okay.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are collecting all the legendaries, you get Deoxys, you get a Rayquaza, depending on what version you get a Groudon, or where the heck one year's called. You can get a Ho-Oh, you get a Lugia, Kyogre, yep. So by the end of this game, you're essentially sitting on 7 or 8 legendaries, And then you also have like a bunch of like probably like awesome awesome things that you've pimped out. So by the end of the game, your team's pretty stacked, but I feel like the starting point of the game where you're like, let me use Poochyena and Zigzagoon for forever, and maybe a Tallow. Yeah. And if I'm lucky, a Ralts that sucks until it gets to like level 30. It's like just the beginning of this game is kind of weaker, and I wish that they kind of like balanced it a little bit more. And I think that a cool part of Gold and Silver and Platinum was like it seems simple, but the little pseudo widow that you get, like it's not a legendary, but it's a strong Pokemon that you kind of get through just a side quest, or you get like the red Gyarados. Yeah. Again, like not a legendary, but you get something special, and it feels like we're missing that about halfway through the game. You like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, now you can kind of capture useful Pokemon. It's like, okay, but I'm still waiting for like kind of that like, oh hey, pat on the back, you got this far. Here's a cool little like ice type or something.
Yeah. Or even just like the classic example, the Snorlax. The Snorlax is a great normal type Pokemon who's a tank that you kind of have to get, and he's blocking your path essentially, right? This one we get a Kecleon, and then the Kecleon literally, instead of fighting it, just like moves off to the side, and you're like, oh, cool, man.
Yeah. Well, it just seems so like lackluster. Like that's such a good part of the game, and always feels like gives you a good option if you do want that character, like Sudowoodo again, tank. I guess Snorlax, tank. It's like it's a fun little thing. And I mean, even with like Gold and Silver, like about 2/3 of the way through, you're like, I can get a Ho-Oh if I want. So why not?
Well, it seems like they're kind of going for, like, they were spreading themselves almost too thin, in a sense, right? Where there was not a heck of a lot going on in the story. I don't remember the originals. I think Emerald is actually kind of a neat story too, because like the two Pokemon kind of fight, and then Rayquaza comes in, and there's a whole thing. So that's kind of neat. So from a story point of view, they like kicked up the ending as opposed to just like stopping Team Rocket. But like Tyson said, it's those little nuance, the emotion throughout the adventure that you're missing. And then the competitive scene, it was kind of lackluster in the original. Whereas this one, it kind of has the like it like goes along, and it's got a great end game, and it's got these big moments, but it's just missing that like heart and soul throughout.
Yeah, it feels like they knew where they wanted to take it, but they almost were a little bit rushing, and there just wasn't as much passion and creativity.
Yeah. Cool, yeah. So anyways, ending. So you are a Pokemon Master. Hooray! You can collect some legendary Pokemon, revisit areas from the games to work on your Pokedex, or you could be a crazy person and build a competitive team. Good luck breeding certain traits and EV and IV training them. Yay, current thoughts. This feels like a new generation of Pokemon. Red, Blue, and Yellow are old school. Green, Silver, and Crystal seem to be the updated fan love letter to those games. And Sapphire and Ruby seem kind of like the first next gen game, right? So the release of Fire Red and Leaf Green, these were a glimpse into the future of Pokemon. All right, cool. Any criticism I have is compared to my thoughts of the original games. These games missed me, but I'm glad I've gotten to go back and ensure that I didn't miss them. Oh, that's a cute sound. Tyson, current thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I kind of bitched for a bit, but it was like the beginning rubs me wrong. The middle, really good. By the end, I'm having fun, and it's a Pokemon game. I'm sad I kind of missed it when I first grew up, because I feel like had I just put those 10 hours in, I would have been like, oh, I love this game. It's fantastic. But I just didn't, and I missed out. And it's nice to kind of go back and tick those boxes off, because definitely one of those games where I've been staring at and wanting to play, so happy we kind of got a chance to get to it.
Sweet, yo. How about a what would I change? So, not just for this game, but for all new Pokemon games. Let's have different starting types. Water, Grass, and Fire need to change it up. Come on, we have different combos. You could do Psychic and Dark and fighting or something like that, right? Well, let's play around with it. I don't know if we need these whole generic Water, Grass, and Fire types.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nicer even if it was just more than just 3. Yeah. Like, I mean, I get that, you kind of set up so, like, your rival takes one. But, like, imagine if you could choose a dragon type right off the bat, or, like, a normal type. Like, how could you get, like, if they were just, like, enjoy your Eevee. Have fun.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Well, it happens in some games, right? Like, that's a thing, yeah?
Yeah. Do we go down that road and introduce a new Pokemon that's like an Eevee, that's like your starter, and then let you kind of like flush it out? So like there is a single, like a fairy, a dragon, a blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And by like let's say like level 20, you kind of have it all like sorted out, and you kind of be like falling into that and start building a team around it.
That's a cool idea.
I don't know. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, this game has lots for you. If you're a casual gamer and you've avoided this one because it seems complicated, don't give it a chance. It's not bad. It's definitely worth kind of looking into. It's pretty strong. Again, doesn't have the nostalgia glasses, the goggles of that first kind of those 2 gens, but it's okay. It's not bad. I did it. I played a new Pokemon game and I had fun. So yay.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So that kind of ends our official review. We've just got some kind of funny stuff. We've got a fan theory, a cultural significance. Tyson gets to play a game, and then we're out of here. So, yeah. And then we're done with Pokemon for a while, unless we're playing a Pokemon game in another month. Wink. So what would you change? No, sorry. What are you buying? It's our fan theory section. So the items you find throughout the Pokemon games are actually the remains of dead trainers. When a trainer dies while out adventuring, the remaining items are left in Pokeballs that we happily take. Where are their bodies? They're eaten by wild Pokemon, obviously.
Maybe, but I feel like any self-respecting Pokemon trainer wouldn't die with a Pokeball. So at least there'd be like, oh, and you got a Pokeball. Oh. Like if there was like, oh, and you got this, I'd be like, yes. I feel like people in this game are just dumb.
Yeah.
Like everybody our character has like the reason why we're like the greatest Pokemon trainer in the entire like realm is because like we have access to the internet. We can just Google things.
Yes.
Like, oh, if you want to Google like what Pokemon are available in this area, there it is. But they like everybody else in this game is like, well, I don't know, man. I don't even know what this move even does. Like one of our experts like is like barely it gets chased around by a Poochyena at like level 2. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, one of the other things that happens when you beat the game, you go back and I forget if it's the start of Delta, but you get to choose from the Gen 1 Pokemon. So, or no, Gen 2 starters. So you get to like restart. You can get you can get like a Blade or a Totodile or like the little pig guy. It's kind of cute.
Yep. You get at the end of Delta.
Yes. That's it then. Okay. Yep. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, so that's that. So on to our cultural significance. We're all wrapped up, ready to rock and roll. So in this section, we look at game tropes, marketing tactics, interesting stories. We talk about how this game relates, give other examples, and tie it all back together in the end. Hate it or love it, Pokemon is a part of popular culture. Most everyone knows that Pokemon exists. Shortest pop culture or cultural significance ever. JK. Let's start by looking at some of the most popular Pokemon and then tearing apart some of the Gen 3 Pokemon to see why aren't they amongst the most popular? So I've got 2 lists, because we love listicles. Top 10 most popular Pokemon by BusinessInsider.com. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready.
All right, number 10 is Dragonite. Number 9 is Eevee. Number 8 is Gardevoir from Gen 3. Number 7 is Lucario. Number 6 is Umbreon. Number 5 is Blaziken from Gen 3. Number 4 is Bulbasaur. Number 3, Arcanine. We have a Gengar at number 2, and number 1 is Charizard.
Interesting. I don't think Gardevoir is all memorable at all, but sure. Right. Maybe to the opposite sex. Like maybe like girls really identify with a female Pokemon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. So that's our most popular. And then I was like, I don't really like that one. So I found another list, the most iconic, the 10 most iconic by GameRant.com. And I think I like GameRant because they share opinions with me. That means I like them and they don't challenge me. So let's see what they think the top 10 most iconic Pokemon are. Number 10 is Lucario. Number 9 is Mudkip from Gen 3. Number 8 is Jigglypuff. 7 is Magikarp. Number 6 is Meowth. 5 is Eevee. 4 is Mew. 3 is Mewtwo. 2 is Charizard. And number 1 is Pikachu. And I agree with that list more because I feel like Pikachu is the most iconic Pokemon. So
yeah, if you don't have the face of the franchise as the number 1 Pokemon on your top 10 Pokemon list, I'm shocked because, yeah, you can say maybe it's not the most popular, but it better be on that darn list, at least in the top 10, because, let's face it, Pikachu is the face of the franchise. Yeah. People aren't like, oh, hey, Ash. No, people like Pikachu.
Yes, there was not a Detective Gardevoir movie released a couple years ago, so
Yeah, no, or a Detective Charizard.
Yes.
There was a Charizard in it, and everybody was like, "That's the best scene."
Yep.
But
yes, 100%. So those two lists there kind of make sense, right? Now, the game that I've been hinting at, I told Tyson not to look at this part, so he doesn't know what's coming up. But we saw Pikachu on those lists. We saw some Gen 2s, 1 or 2 Gen 3s, which is, that's okay. That's all right. But then I feel like there's just some duds. I don't know. They just didn't resonate. Sometimes when they create Pokemon, you look at them and you're like, these kind of all look like they're kind of crappy, right? So I'm going to read you a Pokemon's name, and you have to guess kind of what it looks like, or give me the type, or the gimmick based on just the name alone. So are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right, so number 10 right now is Dusclops. So can you tell me something about Dusclops based on its name?
The only reason I know is because I actually looked up the Elite Four Pokemon, and this was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Dusclops is a ghost, but it looks like just a pile of, let's say, hit.
Okay.
And take a hint from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and drop the first letter.
Right.
But it's a ghost, and it probably doesn't have a face, but it probably looks...
Ding ding. My description was ghost with one eye, hence the clops, the side Dusclops. One eye. Nice. Well done. Ding ding. So 1 point. So number 9 is Claydol. Tell me something about Claydol.
I don't even know this one. Claydol is, I'm going to say a doll.
Okay.
But it is a ground type because it is made of clay.
That's you think you'd go there, but it's actually a psychic clay doll. So it looks like a kind of a doll. It's kind of like a weird big head, little body, and it's psychic type. So 1 point still. How about number 8? Masquerain.
Masquerain. I no idea. So Masquerade kind of rings to me. So I'm gonna say that it is a Pokemon with a mask on it, and it is going to be a dark type.
All right. So Masquerain is actually a bug-type Pokemon that has these 2 big things that sticks out of the side of its head, so it looks like big eyes, and it intimidates your Pokemon.
Ah.
All right. Okay. Number 7, we've got Beautyfly/Dustox. What do you think Beautyfly and Dustox are?
Beautyfly is a butterfly, but it has a little bit more bug-like features. I think it has like a pointed face.
Yep.
And then Dusclops, well, you group them together, so I'm going to say this one looks more like a moth.
Ding, ding, ding,
and
ding.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's a good job. All right. So 2 points. 2 points. 2 for 2. Missed 2. So number 6 is Plusle/Minun.
Oh, I got you. These are mini Pikachus, but they have red and blue, and they have a positive and negative because they're positive and negative.
There you go. Ding, ding, dings. 3 points. 3 points. On to number 5, we got Rosalia.
Oh, okay. I think this one's a grass type, and it's like a plant lady, but she has like 3 little like flowers on her.
That's pretty good. Ding, ding. 4 points. 4 points. All right. So 4 more to go. Can you get over 500? I think so. There's at least one you should be able to get here. So Regice.
Ooh. This does not ring any bells. I'm going to say it is a rock totem looking fellow. I don't know where I'm pulling that from. I think I'm confusing it with another one, but yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a rock colossus.
Oh, that's, you know what, you're really close, because there's 3 legendary Pokemon called the Regis that you have to do these like weird little tricks, and there's like a mystery in the game, which is kind of fun. And Regice is an ice rock type Pokemon, so you're very close on that one.
Gotcha.
You missed the ice part. Okay, so we're still at 4 points. 4 points, 3 to go. We got time. So how about Explode?
Well, it's electric, and it is Jeepers Explode. It looks like, I don't even know. I'm gonna say like there's some sort of X on the body.
So I think there's a couple of them. They look like, I don't even describe. He's a big, loud, normal type Pokemon. He's got a big voice and apparently yells. So there we go. So we're still at 4 points. So number 2, how about Delcatty?
I'm drawing a major blank on this one, Delcatty. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna have to say it's a cat type.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Or it's a normal, but it looks like a cat.
Yay! Ding ding ding! Yay! He got to 5 points. 50%.
Nice.
Can he get over 50%? And brag about his 60%? We'll find out when he can he answer. Crawdilly.
Is this that goofy water-looking Pokemon that looks like a giant, not like blob with like a weird beak on it, and it has an actual lily pad on its head?
No, I believe that is Ludacario or something like that. He's like kind of like a Spanish-looking guy. This is that weird fossil rock type, Cradilly. So he's a rock type fossil. Doesn't have very good attack. Doesn't have great defense. We're not sure what he does. So there you go. So Tyson went in our fun game of immemorable Gen 3 Pokemon. 50%. So that's not bad. How did you do at home? Did you beat him?
Probably.
Cool. So that kind of wraps up our Gen 3 look at Pokemans. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah. Very, very good. That's a fun little game. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that at home. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, was not bad. Because where are we at next? So Gen 4, Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. Yeah, I think I have a couple copies, but I've never played it. Interesting. So that was Gen 3. And then Gen 5 is Black and White. I think I have those. Gen 6 is X and Y. Oh, and Alpha or Omega and Ruby. So this is actually technically Gen 6 that we played as well.
Oh, interesting.
Gen 7 is Sun and Moon and Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And then we're currently in Gen 8 with Sword Shield, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. What is that? Brilliant.
Yeah, so the next one we're on is Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
On the DS. So, and we get our choice of Chimchar, Pulip, and Turtwig.
Huh, interesting.
Turtwig.
So apparently they're doing like a Brilliant Diamond remake on the Switch at some point.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Late 2021. So we don't even have to play the original. I think I have a copy of like Platinum or something on my shelf. But we could, in theory, play the remake on the Switch. So that's exciting. There you go.
Yeah.
Hear that, Nintendo? We're going to give you $160 at some point in the future. So.
Yeah, and if you guys want to play along, buy it at home. So here we are, Nintendo, plugging your product.
Beep, 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 beep. Cool. So outside of that hour and 20-minute long commercial, pretty good episode. We're done. Another number show. Like I kind of hinted at before, and if you're listening this long, we'll tell you in a month's time, because we're really good at figuring out what's coming out, and we look ahead, obviously. We're going to play Pokemon Snap, because Pokemon Snap's in the world, so it'll be about 2 months old at this point, so hopefully we'll be able to talk about if maybe we played the new one, but we're looking at the N64 one specifically, so it's exciting stuff.
Absolutely. It's a good game. Yeah. I'm excited to play it and take lots of pictures and play that weird character that nobody remembers the name of from the show.
I don't. Todd Snap? Is that his name?
Sure.
All right.
Call him Todd.
Todd Snap. There you go. And with that, if you are following along with our second, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we're starting Majora's Mask in our Zelda retrospective. So, pretty exciting stuff. So, see you guys then. See you guys in a month. And hopefully you enjoyed our look at Pokemon. Because I did, right? Did we miss anything?
Absolutely. Let us know. Talk to you later.
You say your thing.
Oh, James Bond.
Oh, my God.
My bad. I almost... I'm rusty. I
know, we backlogged a lot of episodes. It's like one of our fresh new takes, and like we're recording this after everything that we've like backlogged has been released. So it's been a while. It clearly shows, because Tyson almost forgot James Bond. So.
Yep, my bad.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.